Good evening and welcome to our live crafting session this evening. My name is Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It is Tuesday evening, the 31st of January. So, our last day of January. I don't know where that went, I'm sure. I'm sure many of you are feeling the same. And yesterday, if you joined us, we were using the In the Country stamp set to create two watercolour themed or watercolour design cards. And if I had them to hand I could show you, but I haven't. They're in the stamp set somewhere safe. And so this week we're focusing, I found them now. I do beg your pardon. We are focusing on Sale-a-Bration items. So these are items available in our Sale-a-Bration brochure. And these now run until the end of February 2023. And what I used yesterday was this stamp set here called In the Country, and I made two watercolour themed cards or watercolour cards, and this is what we're going to do at Coffee and Card this week, Friday, and next week Monday, because so many people liked them. So this is what we're going to be doing. So there's a couple of different methods that you can use to colour these in. So we've got this little set of steps here and then this country scene. So we will be doing that on Friday and Monday. And all of these items are in our Sale-a-Bration brochure. And this is a promotion that runs from Stampin' Up each year, January and February. And it consists of this brochure. For every £45 you spend, you can choose a free item from the brochure. If you spend £90, you can choose two items, or you can choose one of the higher value items for a £90 order. And that goes on and carries on. So if you spent £135, you could choose three items, etc, etc. So yesterday we used the In the Country stamp set, and today, as voted by you, we're going to use Favoured Flowers, and the spelling actually is F-A-V-O-R-E-D, which is the American spelling, but in my text at the top of this video I put favoured with the English spelling, just because I prefer to have the English version around. And this particular set of papers also coordinates with a bundle available in the main catalogue. I have only purchased the stamp set, which is this one here, and it's called, as you can see, Fragrant Flowers. And today I'm probably just going to be using one of the sentiments. I might stamp this one inside my card, but I'm just going to use the sentiment because I want the papers to do all the work. And there's an assortment of colours in these papers, and these are listed in our brochure, and they are Basic Black, Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia and Petal Pink. So I'm just going to flip through these pieces. Now the pieces come to you as 12 by 12. I've cut these down to 6 by 12 to make them a little bit more usable. And you would have received some of these papers potentially if you purchased my paper share. So I included some of the free papers in there. So we have this one here. So obviously there's a lot of floral going on here. There's this one with the larger flowers and the black background. We have this one here with the 3 colours. So we've got Calypso Coral, Petal Pink and Fresh Fuchsia. We have Petal Pink and Calypso Coral together. And then a combination, so these flowers are larger and then separated out, and I'm going to use this set of flowers today. And then we have these here, hi Yolan, with the Petal Pink and a little bit of Calypso Coral in them. So those are the papers, and my plan is to use, let me see, I'm trying to find them now, the mixed ones here, I think, yes. So I think I'm going to use this one here, and I'm going to fussy cut this one out. There are dies that match the flowers, and this one here, which is the same as these two, has the dies that cut it out. So you could use the dies to cut those out of the paper if you want. I don't have the dies, I only bought the stamp set. There's also some nice little tags in there as well. So what I'm going to do is use, I think, the backs. I didn't show you the backs of the cards, and they are coordinating colours. So we have Blackberry Bliss, we've got Evening Evergreen, Petal Pink, Mossy Meadow in there, and Calypso Coral. And you can either take them vanilla or you could take them white, entirely up to you. And what I'm going to do is use this one here as my backing, I think, and then cut out this set of flowers. So let's start with that very quickly. I hope everybody has had a good day. Hi Kerry. Good, very late evening for you down in Australia. So I'm going to cut this as a backing 10 centimetres by 14.35. So, and that is going to go onto my basic white base card, and that measurement is 14.85, and then it's 21 centimetres, but I've scored it in the centre at 10.5, so that's going to be my backing. And then what I'm going to do is fussy cut these out. I'm going to do it fairly quickly. You know, I'm not a big fan of fussy cutting. I'm not going to cut out these tiny little flowers that are attached. I'm just going to cut all the way around those. So I can do that while you're chatting away, and then I will stamp my sentiment. So I've had a busy day today. I had my card class this afternoon. It's always the last Tuesday of each month, and that's our in-person class. So that was good fun. Some great finished cards, and I love it when we get together and share ideas. I've got, oh bless you Kerry, no worries. I think it must be the evening time that you seem to have problems with the internet at your end. So we'll catch you on replay. Thank you Kerry. So I'm just cutting around these leaves. I'll just cut this little bit out here. And it would be really easy to cut these pieces out too. And remember, don't discard the ones that are on the edge, because you could use these, for example, on the inside of the card. So don't discard those. Just going to cut around these, and I do like the black background. If you don't like the black background, you could cut these manually with your scissors and just cut inside the edge so that you lose this black edging. Okay, so I'm just going to come around here fairly quickly, cutting off these little flowers. Sorry, little flowers, little buds. Just cut this piece up like so. So my plan, when I finished cutting that out, is to have this on here and then add a banner maybe underneath. It could be that I do this way round, so I've got a little bit more space for my banner. And it may be that I cut out another flower as well. Hi Scylla. So Scylla was one of the lovely ladies who joined me for class this afternoon, which we had good fun. And the class in a box packages were all collected and they should be delivered to their recipients within the next day or two, all being well. Okay, so there's that one, and I'm just wondering whether I might split that across the middle and have two panels, one in Calypso and one in pink, because there is a petal pink backing. Let me have a quick look and see which one's got the petal pink. So here's the petal pink backing. It's a slightly different geometric pattern. This is the one with the full in all over design. Oh, jolly good, Kate. Hi. Yes, I'm looking forward to it too. There were some great designs, so fingers crossed your box will be with you, or being tomorrow. Well, they were all tracked, so fingers crossed. So I'm just going to cut this one to the same as the other, so 10 by 14.35. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the two together and then cut from corner to corner, and then I can switch the two pieces around. Just think there's a lot of Calypso Coral going on there. So all I'm doing is putting the point of one end, the point of the opposite end in the track. And what I like to do when I'm doing that is start the blade in the middle, and then you're not pushing against the edge of the panel. So I've got like so, and then obviously I've got a matching pair. Okay, so let's have a look and see what this looks like. This is a bit busy here, isn't it? Sorry. Let's move those out of the way. Okay, so I haven't quite decided which way around this is going to go. There we are. So like that. And then I could have my Calypso Coral on the same side, or I could reverse those, which is quite nice because it gives it a little bit more interest. And then I could also put something across the middle, so you could put ribbon if you wanted, if you didn't want to have the harsh line between them. And then we're going to pop a sentiment on here, one or the other. So let's stamp that, and I've used the dies from the Stylish Shapes. I have got Thanks and Hello, and I'm going to stamp this in Calypso Coral. You could also stamp it in Evening Evergreen, that would look quite nice. So let's just ink this up. And pop it on here. I think that's just going to fit. Fingers crossed. There we go. So that works quite nicely. And I am going to do hello as well, just in case that thanks is too big. And it's got the word friend, so you could do hello friend or thanks friend as well. So just borrow this block. And then if I've got both of these, I can just decide which one. And of course I can use the other pieces. So what I'm going to do with this one is stamp it over to the right hand side so that I can chop it effectively at that point. Okay, right, so those are my two pieces there. I've also got some sequins that I can use. I've got some sort of slightly off, well, they're iridescent ones here, and these ones actually are sweet sorbet, but because they're sequins I think I'll get away with them on there, so they're not quite Calypso Coral. So let's pop these down, and what I like to do, if you've watched me for a while you know what I like to do is put the two together and attach it with tape, so you end up with one solid piece to put on your base card. I find if you start with this and then put the other one on, this is what can happen. You've got your eye on this border here. Oh, thank you, Sana. And it will, you won't necessarily get it straight. I've learnt from experience. So you'll see me whenever I have multiple pieces of paper to attach, I always turn them over, adhere them together on the back, and then you've got one solid piece. And that way, if you need to cut it down, you can just cut it, you know, along two sides rather than trying to match them up. And all you need to do is just grab a little bit of tape. I've actually got some of my packing tape here, which I will use. Thanks for joining us, Brenda. I hope that you're well. So I'm just going to literally use tape. So you could use sellotape, you could use washi tape, you could use double-sided tape. So all I'm going to do is put these together and just put tape on the back. Doesn't have to look pretty because nobody else is going to see it, like that. And then you've got one piece to play with, and you could decide which way round you want your panel. So let me just see, I might cut out another flower. So let's just see, so there's hello, that would fit quite nicely. It feels very heavy on the right hand side because I've got the darker colour and the sentiment. So to balance that, my gut feel is to do that, like so. And I could either have that cut off a little bit. I think the thanks would work if this was a bit further up, but it feels a bit squished in, so I'm going to use this one and just chop it on one side. I'm actually going to do the trimmer because, knowing me, I won't cut it straight. There we go. Let's have a little bit to play with, like that. And then I might just add this other flower in really quickly. and then I can layer those together. So this is another in our Sale-a-Bration set, if you missed the earlier description. So I'm literally just going to cut this little bit, and it's really forgiving with a black background. It really is. There we go. Just whiz around there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pop this layer down first. Let's see if I've got any adhesive to hand. I've got some tape, that will do. So just along the edges, like so. So watch out for the news tomorrow. We have a brand new kit being launched, which is a home decor kit, so not a card kit, and we do decor kits and journal kits and things, as well as card making kits. And there's a new one launching tomorrow that looks really good fun, so I will be ordering one. Okay, let's just peel this, take that little bit off there. Sorry if that's out of your view. Okay, so I'm just going to peel these back, and I like to just peel half of it back to give me a little bit more control when it goes onto the card. I find if you've taken the whole thing off, it's not very forgiving. There we go. Okay, so I had it that way around, didn't I? Yeah. So I'm just going to hold this over my card base. Just take time to get it nice, hopefully straight. Press it down and then pull these pieces out to release the rest of the tape. And we sell double-sided tape. It's not very easy to find in the catalogue, but all of our adhesives are all together. Okay, so there's my base card, and then we've got these two pieces here. I might just have those overlaid like that, and my little hello here. Now what I could have done was stamped it the other end and had this end flat and my banner pointing that way, which on balance I think would have been better, because if I want to hide that edge I've really got to put this further up. So what I'm going to do is cut that edge off to match the other one, like so. I know it's not as pretty, but it's quite a big statement piece as it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is layer these up, and I'm just going to sort of bend this a little bit, give it a little bit of interest. And pop this up with some dimensionals, like so, and then maybe this one in that little gap there. So let's grab some dimensional pieces. So, an odd bit of strip, but it will do the job. And you could double those up as well if you want to. I've got some black ones to hand and all of these edges to use up. And it is useful having darker dimensionals. Okay, can't remember how to. Yes, I want them sort of opposing colours. And because I've got the other parts of this, I can just carry on and do another design. So let's have that there. Just going to put down lightly, and then this one. In there, I think. Hi Natalie, thank you for joining us. I can see you've popped on. You may or may not have sound on, so if you can't hear me, I apologise. That's where I want it to go, I've decided. Let's find the odd pieces again. Natalie, I don't think I've sent you the new catalogue, so if you would like one, just pop a comment or just let me know. We've got our spring, summer, well, spring really, January to April it is. And now I'm just doing 2 layers here because I want these leaves to be a little bit higher. So I'm just doubling up on dimensionals there. So this is one of the sets of free papers that we're using, both for the backing and for the flowers that I've cut out. And I want these to go here, like so. So I've got my double height here, and it just gives it a nice sort of rounded look. Hopefully you can see that okay. And then I've got my little hello here, and yeah, no, I'm going to put that flat with some tape, and then just add some sequins, and I might stamp the flower inside and we're done. So most of the time was spent deciding what papers I was going to use and fussy cutting the flowers. But as I say, we do have dies for these flowers as well. So I'm just going to pop that on there using the lines. I don't think you can see the lines of this geometric design on the petal pink particularly well, but it's really useful for getting these items level. And then let's just pop a couple of these sequins. So we've got large and small. As I say, these are actually designed to be sweet sorbet, but I think I can get away with it on here. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 1 large and 2 small, like that. And then my final touch is I'm going to stamp the smaller stamped image on the inside, assuming I can find my stamp case, which is here. So this is the coordinating set, Fragrant Flowers. I'm just going to pick up this one here and stamp it on the inside, and we're done. Brenda. Right, I've not used this one, so I'm just going to practice on here. Yeah, really pretty, if you can see that. detail. And this would look nice stamped in black and coloured as well. But I'm just going to put it in this corner here, like so. There we have it. There is our finished card. So I hope you like that. It's using the free papers. I have used the sentiment from the coordinating stamp set, but also you could use any sentiment that you have. And the papers, if I just show you the others for the people that didn't catch us earlier on. Let's move that out of the way. Hi Nick! So we have assorted flowers on one side. So there's that one there. I don't really know what flowers they are. They're sort of roses, sort of dahlias. This is like a cabbage rose, isn't it? And then this one with the black backing as well. And then the reverse side is petal pink, Calypso Coral, Mossy Meadow, Blackberry Bliss, Evening Evergreen, and Fresh Freesia. So those are the free papers available until the end of February. So I've done that one. So because I cut those two pieces out, I've now got another set that I can create another card with. And what I might do is do it this way round with, I'm going to turn it that way around again so it balances. So with my thanks there like that, and then some flowers there, which I'll cut from either the same or different papers. I might cut this one here, just cut around there, miss out that leaf, and then this one here, or I could cut out any of the others, of course. Okay, so that is it. I do have something to show you for those that joined me, let me see, last week, and you'll have seen me do the Vintage Tools card that had this pop-out front piece. And one of the ladies at Coffee and Card, a lovely friend of mine, Chris Ertel, suggested that you could attach the front of this panel to stop it popping out. So this is the way that the panel works. When you open the card, you get this really pretty concertina and this pop-out window. And the way that I've done it was that this window wasn't attached to the front of the card. And Chris said it would be nice if you could find a way to do it. And I looked at it and I couldn't figure it out. But, of course, my fabulous customers had come out and worked it out. So if I open this up, this is the concertina piece that we had. And what Chris has done is she's added an additional flap, top and bottom, and attached it to the front of the card. So as you open it, you can stand it up and you get this lovely boxed effect. Hi Carol. And the front piece doesn't pop out, whereas the way that I've done it, which I'd seen from another demonstrator, it wasn't my idea in the slightest, this piece was separate. And I love the way that she's done that. So Chris very kindly not only tried it out, but she sent me the card. So if anybody was watching that, I will do another one with this new design. So this is, this could be 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches. So 6-inch panel, but with a 1/2 inch extra. And then you've scored it at this 1/2 inch, 2, 4, and then obviously 6. Hi Vivian. Oh, I've got Vivian and Kate. So if you saw that video, I will do another one to show the improved version, because I think this is really clever, whereas in the original one you had to get the full effect, you had to pull it from the left hand side like that. So yeah, so thank you, Chris. I said I'd give you a shout out and a mention, and I really like that. And Love Cats is fab. I will be using that at Coffee and Card sometime soon. Okay, so thank you. Sorry, Kate. And the cats are perfect for that. They really are. And yeah, so you can catch the video for this on my YouTube channel. But if you add to this piece here, that was, in my measurements, was 15 centimetres, so scored at 5 and 10. So if you had a piece that was, for example, 17 centimetres, and you scored it at 5, 10 and 15, and then all you need to do when you put it together is just mark where the cut is, and then just trim your piece down. So I will do a video showing that. So thank you, Chris. And then this is the one that I've just created now, with Favoured Flowers is the name of the papers, and Fragrant Flowers is the name of the stamp set. So that's our finished card with that really pretty insert. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody, on Tuesday evening. I'm going to pop this one together, so that is done as well. And I have some bits and pieces to do this evening for our team. Various emails and updates, because we always get updates from Stamping Up on a Tuesday, and that tells us what's coming up. So a new kit launches tomorrow, so watch out for that information. And it's our last month of Sale-a-Bration. So this is your last opportunity to get the products that I'm showing this week. So anything in this Sale-a-Bration brochure, which if you've ordered my class in a box December and January, you will get a copy in your box. And I'm just working my way through all the different designs that you can get for free. So I hope you can catch me during the rest of the week. I've gone on far too long for Tuesday evening. So thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you take care, look after yourselves, your loved ones, and I hope you can keep crafting. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care, have a good evening. Bye for now.